Alright, hey guys, welcome back. So today we are going to be continuing with reading out loud meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And before we start today, I just want to say that I am feeling a little bit under the weather today, but I believe consistency and showing up is really important. And I will continue to show up until this book is finished. And without further ado, we shall start the timer. And today we're going to be reading it for 20 minutes. And the timer starts right now. Bam. Alrighty, let's go. It is possible to have no understanding of this, and not to be troubled in mind. Things of themselves have no inherent power to form our judgments. Accustom yourself not to be disregarding of what someone else has to say. As far as possible, enter into the mind of the speaker. What does not benefit the hive does not benefit the bee either. If sailors spoke ill of their captain, or patients of their doctor, who else would they listen to? Otherwise, how would the captain achieve a safe voyage for his passenger, or the doctor health for those in his care? How many with whom I came into the world have already left? How many with whom I came into the world have already left? How many with whom I came into the world have already left? Wow. Appearances. To the jaundiced honey seems bitter. To those bitten by rabid dogs, water is a terror. To little boys, a ball is a joy. Why then am I angry? Or do you think that false representation has less effect than bile in the jaundiced or poison in the hydrophobic? No one will prevent you living in accordance with the principle of your own nature. Nothing will happen to you contrary to the principle of universal nature. What sort of people they wish to please, and what kind of actions are the means of their success. How quickly time will cover everything, and how much is covered already. This is wickedness. This is what you have often seen, and you should have this thought ready to hand against any eventuality. I have seen this often before. Generally, whenever you look, you will find the same things. The histories, ancient, more recent, and modern, are full of them. Cities, households, are full of them today. There is nothing new. All is familiar, and all short-lived. Your principles are living things. How else could they be deadened except by the extinction of the corresponding mental images? And the constant rekindling of these is up to you. I am able to form the judgment I should about this event. I am able to form the judgment I should about this event. If able, why troubled? All the lies outside of my own mind is nothing to it. Learn this, and you stand upright. You can live once more. Look at things again as you used to. Look at things again as you used to look at them. In this, the resumption of life. The empty pomp of a procession. The empty pomp of a procession. The empty pomp of a procession, plays on the stage, flocks and herds, jousting shows, a bone thrown to puppies, tidbits into the fish ponds, ants toiling and carrying, the scurries of frightened mice, puppets dancing on their strings. Well, amid all this, you must keep yourself tolerant. Do not snort at them, but bear in mind that a person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values. In conversation, one ought to follow closely what is said. In any impulse, to follow closely what takes place. In the latter case, to see immediately the intended object of reference. In the former, to watch carefully what is meant. Is my mind sufficient for this task, or is it not? If it is, I use it for the task as an instrument given me by the nature of the whole. If it is not, I either cede the work, if it is otherwise my responsibility, to someone better able to accomplish it, or do it as best I can, calling in aid someone who, in cooperation with my own directing mind, can achieve what is at this particular time the need and benefit of the community. Whatever I do, either by myself or with another, should have this sole focus, the common benefit and harmony. How many who once rose to fame are now consigned to oblivion, and how many who sang their fame are long disappeared. Do not be ashamed of help. It is your task to achieve your assigned duty, like a soldier in a scaling party. What then, if you are lame and cannot climb the parapet by yourself? But this is made possible by another's help. Do not let the future trouble you. You will come to it if that is what you must. Possess of the same reason that you apply now to the present. All things are meshed together, and a sacred bond unites them. Hardly a single thing is alien to the rest. Ordered together in their places, they together make up the one order of the universe. There is one universe out of all things, one God pervading all things, one substance, one law, one common reason in all intelligent beings, and one truth. If indeed there is also one perfection of all cognate beings sharing in the same reason. Everything material rapidly disappears in the universal substance. Every cause is rapidly taken up into the universal reason, and the memory of everything is rapidly buried in eternity. For a rational being to act in accordance with nature is also to act in accordance with reason, standing straight or held straight. Rational beings collectively have the same relation as the various limbs of an organic unity. They are created for a single cooperative purpose. The notion of this will strike you more forcefully if you keep on saying to yourself, I am a limb of a composite body of rational beings. If though by the change of one letter from L to R, you call yourself simply a part rather than a limb, you do not yet love your fellow men from your heart. Doing good does not yet delight you as an end in doing good does not end Doing good does not yet delight you as an end in itself. You are still doing it as a mere duty, not yet as a kindness to yourself. Let any external thing that so wishes happen to those parts of me which can be affected by its happening, and they, if they wish, can complain. I myself am not yet harmed, unless I judge this occurrence something bad, and I can refuse to do so. Whatever anyone does or says, I must be a good man. It is as if an emerald, or gold or purple, were always saying, whatever anyone does or says, I must be an emerald and keep my own color. Stay hydrated, y'all. The directing mind does not disturb itself. For example, it does not frighten itself or lead itself to desire. If anyone else can frighten it or cause it pain, let him do so. Of itself, of its own judgment, it will not deliberately turn to such modes. The body should take care, as far as it can, to avoid harm. The sensual soul, which feels fear or pain, should say, if it does so, but that which makes general assessment of all things these things will not suffer at all. It will not itself rush to any such judgment. Of itself, the directing mind is without needs, unless it creates a need for itself. In the same way, it is troubled and unhindered, unless it troubles or hinders itself. Happiness is a benign God, or divine blessing. Why then, my imagination, are you doing what you do? Go away, in God's name, the way you came. I have no need of you. You have come in your old habit. I am not angry with you, only go away. Is someone afraid of change? Well, what can ever come to be without change? Or what is dearer or closer to the nature of the whole than change? Can you yourself take your bath if the wood that heats it's not? Can you yourself take your bath if the wood that heats it is not changed? Can you be fed unless what you eat changes? Can any other of the benefits of life be achieved without change? Do you not see yourself? Do you not see then that for you to be changed is equal and equally necessary to the nature of the whole? All our bodies, being of one nature with the whole and cooperating with it as our limbs do with each other, pass through the universe. All our bodies, being of one nature with the whole and cooperating with it as our limbs do with each other, pass through the universal substance as through a swirling I'm gonna repeat this paragraph again. All our bodies, being of one nature with the whole and cooperating with it as our limbs do with each other, pass through the universal substance as through a swirling stream. How many a chrysippus, a Socrates, and Epictetus has eternity already swallowed. This same thought should strike you about any man at all and anything. I have only one anxiety, that I myself should not do something which the human constitution does not intend, or does not intend in this way or at this time. Soon you will have forgotten all things. Soon all things will have forgotten you. Wow. Soon you will have forgotten all things. Soon all things will have forgotten you. Soon you will have forgotten all things. Soon all things will have forgotten you. It is human nature to love even those who trip and fall. This follows if you reflect at the time that all men are brothers, that they go wrong through ignorance, not intent, that in a short while both you and they will be dead. And above all that, the man that I will repeat this paragraph again. It is human nature to love even those who trip and fall. This follows if you reflect at the time that all men are brothers, that they go wrong through ignorance, not intent, that in a short while both you and they will be dead, and above all that the man has not harmed you. He has not made your directing mind worse than it was before. Universal nature uses the substance of the universe like wax, making now the model of a horse, then melting it down and using its material for a tree, next for a man, next for something else. Each one of these subsists for only the briefest time. It is no more hardship for a box to be broken up than to be put together. A deep scowl on the face is contrary to nature, and when it becomes habitual expressiveness, a deep scowl on the face. I will repeat this paragraph. A deep scowl on the face is contrary to nature, and when it becomes habitual expressiveness, begins to die, or is even finally extinguished beyond rekindling. Try to attend to this very point, that this is something against reason, in the field of moral behavior. If even the consciousness of doing wrong is lost, what reason is there left for living? All that you see will in a moment be changed by the nature which governs the whole. It will create other things out of this material, and then again others out of that, and so that the world is always young. All that you see will in a moment be changed by the nature which governs the whole. It will create other things out of this material, and then again others out of that, so that the world is always young. When someone does you some wrong, you should consider immediately what judgment of good or evil led him to wrong you. When you see this, you will pity him and not feel surprise or anger. You yourself either still share his view of good or something like it, in which case you should understand and forgive. If on the other hand you no longer judge such things as either good or evil. It will be easier for you to be patient with the unsighted. Do not dream of possession of what you do not have. Rather, reflect on the greatest blessing in what you do have, and on their account, remind yourself how much they would have been missed if they were not there. But at the same time, you must be careful not to let your pleasure in them habituate you to dependency, to avoid distress if they are sometimes absent. I want to end on a good note, so I will repeat this paragraph again. Do not dream of possession what you do not have. Rather, reflect on the greatest blessing in what you do have, and on their account remind yourself how much they would have been missed if they were not there. But at the same time, you must be careful not to let your pleasure in them habituate you to dependency, to avoid distress if they are sometimes absent. Alright. There are 12 books. We are on book 7. So pretty good progress. We shall see you tomorrow. Bye.